Right, so today I'm going to explain to you based on my experience on how Ubuntu works in simpler terms for beginners to understand as a former beginner myself. So let's begin. Firstly, I'm going to compare Ubuntu server to Windows server to give you a better understanding on how Ubuntu server works. Now, the Ubuntu server strength is it's good for singular intensive tasks. For example, as a file server itself or a cloud server or others. But it should not be both due to it having a problem that may cause 0 day due to it not having as much support as Windows server. So this is why I would not recommend you to do multifunction even though it is capable of. So many features and softwares are free. Ubuntu server is free. It is lightweight. Updates are optional unlike Windows. So now the weakness is it cannot replace Windows server. You still need Windows server for certain tasks if you're a big corporation. So it needs VM for easier snapshot. It is recommended by me to use it on a VM for easier rollback, because as a Linux itself I have used, and on Linux its behavior is random. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, and the solution is really hard to find, and you may crack your head if you have done something wrong, or if you have updated the software and it suddenly doesn't work. So that is why I always recommend VM for rollback function. It is not as high support compared to Windows on third party or itself. Third party you must find for the most popular one because you may not have support or solution for them. So yeah, sometimes there's no solution, harder to document. For example, if you're using Active Directory on a Ubuntu server and you're not using it on the web, then you have no interface. It is really hard to document, and there's no GUI unless you install a Ubuntu desktop skin on it, then you can see it, but I would not recommend it due to using a skin may cause bugs. So the Windows server's strength is it's good for multitasking. You can have multiple functions, has high support from community, has solution almost all the time, easy to document, it has a GUI. The only weakness is it sometimes fails on certain intensive tasks. Some features of software are only available in Linux, mostly paid apps, higher load than Ubuntu server, mandatory to upgrade. So this is all based on my experience. So let's see how to start Ubuntu server. Install Ubuntu server in VM like Hyper-V that I recommend, because Hyper-V is free from Windows. You can test it out, no problem, and you can add hardwares virtually, so it is a good tool. Everything in Ubuntu server goes through code. So there are GUI, but it is buggy, more resource hog, and some features missing like configuring static IP. Now you may find configuring static IP to be simple on GUIs, but on Ubuntu server the way you configure the static IP is going through the file and finding the file, then you only change it, and you must have specified spacings and whatnot. So that is why I use a GUI for that, but due to either because I'm using Hyper-V or something, that the GUI does not have the function of configuring static IP. So mostly it will be on coding basis. So set a simple goal before starting Ubuntu server. So once you start Ubuntu server, save in the Hyper-V, and then you run any software. So So every configuration is done by editing files in folders. There is no settings GUI or any GUI any sort. There is no Internet Explorer or anything inside there. Everything is done by apt, update, get, files, and all those things. So all this will be in the next video. Basics will be in the next video. This video is about what Ubuntu server is. Remember to like, subscribe, and share! Below is my previous videos, to the center is my other videos, and to the side of it is my playlist of my previous and future videos that is to come. So check that out, and thank you all for watching. Famous Cyber signing out.